Hi Dominic, just take a seat. How are you going today?
Hey, I'm not doing too well actually. My coach recommended I come see you. I used to love playing soccer until I picked up an injury and then couldn't find a club.
Okay, well why don't you tell me what life was like before the injury, during rehabilitation and what it's like now?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
So just describe to me what your life was like before the injury, during rehabilitation and what it's like now.
Well, when I was a teenager, I was highly sought after by many coaches at a professional level. Coaches described me as the next best thing, and the media said that they'd never seen anything like me. When I was 19, I got signed by my first professional club. No one else at the club got signed that young. My first season in the club was a success. I was easily the best player on the team. In my second season though, when I was 20, I sustained a serious spinal injury while contesting for the ball. The doctor said I needed surgery immediately, and my recovery time would be anywhere from 6 to 12 months.
So why did your coach recommend you to see a psychologist?
Well, during my recovery period, my team at the time let me go, so they had no doubts whether I'd get back to my best. My doctor said that my injury would have no impact on my physical ability, so I didn't understand why they let me go. I then trialled for other professional teams, and for some reason they didn't sign me despite my previous success as a player. I then signed up for a semi-professional club that provides me with minimal income.
Okay, so now that I've got an understanding of your history, where would you like to see your career heading?
In my head, I picture myself playing professional soccer again. It's the only thing I've ever known and the only thing I'll ever know. I know I'm capable of playing professional level. It's hard though when everyone before was raving about you, but now no one really cares. My concern is that I've lost all my drive and determination to reach my full potential. I know what I need to do to achieve this, I just don't find any satisfaction in doing so anymore. My coach says that you can help me get back to where I was as a player.
So you say you have a lack of drive and determination. Is there anything that really stands out to you that indicates this behaviour?
Yeah, there's a few things that stand out. I find myself skipping training sessions regularly, turning up late to games, and I don't participate in any team activities or I'm just not enjoying it anymore. Ever since I got turned down by professional clubs, I feel like no one cares about me.
So after everything you've told me so far, I can see that your mental well-being has been affected by your experiences in the past 2 years. Whilst your profile relates to a number of psychological skills, the one we will focus on in the first few sessions will be motivation. So let's try to understand the basis of motivation, how it's having an impact on your ability to return to a professional level. So motivation refers to the reasons underlying behaviour. Typically, your motivation for something can be placed into 4 categories. First of all, A motivation is when someone has no motivation at all. People have no interest in the activity they're performing, and they have no desire to engage in the behaviour. I can see that you fall under this category by your behaviour so far in this session and your previous behaviour. This is easily observed by your lack of motivation to attend training sessions, turn up to team activities, and turn up to the games on time. Extrinsic controlled motivation is the second category, and is when a person's motivation is influenced by external factors and involves doing a task with a sense of demand or pressure.
Was this the category that I fell into before?
Yeah, so you were playing soccer for the wrong reasons. You felt the need to consistently perform at your best individually. You had the pressure from your coaches, friends, family, and the media. You didn't play the sport out of enjoyment. You played the sport because you wanted to impress all these people. This also shows that you were very ego-oriented. Ego-oriented is perceiving success as proving one's superior ability. So people who are ego-oriented have goals that are about being better than others and having natural ability. Okay, so at the moment, I can see that you've moved from controlled extrinsic motivation while being ego-oriented to now having a motivation while still showing signs of being ego-oriented. The last 2 categories are autonomous extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. So intrinsic motivation is can be seen as the optimal level of motivation for success. This is when you're motivated to perform a task out of satisfaction and enjoyment. I think your goals of playing on the professional scene at this time are a bit unrealistic considering where your motivation levels are at the moment and where they need to be. We need to work towards getting you intrinsically motivated.
Okay, everything is starting to make a bit more sense now that you've explained it. What can you actually do for me though to get me from being A-motivated to being intrinsically motivated?
Okay, so first of all, we need to get you from being ego-oriented to task-oriented. We can do this by looking at the achievement goal theory. So the achievement goal theory is an intervention that has 3 broad principles and looks at monitoring moving an individual from ego-oriented to task-oriented. These include positive feedback for effort and improvement, setting self-reference performance goals, and minimizing comparisons with other athletes or noise. I will work closely with your coach in monitoring your effort and improvement in attending training sessions and turning up to games on time. When we see consistent improvement, we will give you a reward, for example, captaining the team in the next match.
Oh, that's awesome. I've never been captain before.
Okay, so I know your overall goal is to become a professional again, but let's look at more realistic, SMART goals that will help you achieve that. Research says a SMART goal stands for specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic and time-bound. A SMART goal that I've come up with for you is attending 3 training sessions per week for 8 weeks.
I'm not sure if I can do that. Actually, seems a bit much.
Okay, so then how about attending 2 training sessions per week for 3 weeks, and then we'll reassess and make another SMART goal.
Yeah, that sounds a bit better. That's something I can work towards.
So, another thing we should work on is minimizing comparison with other athletes. We can do this by closely working with your coach in making sure one-on-one feedback sessions are provided on your individual performance. Research suggests that the higher the player is in ego orientation, then the more he or she reacts to the pressure, and the coach becomes more ego involved. After openly communicating with your coach prior to this session, I've come to understand that he is very task-oriented. So therefore, if we can achieve these 3 principles successfully, we can make an easier transition from ego-oriented to task-oriented, knowing that your coach shares the same goals. This will lead to breaking down the barrier of autonomous extrinsic motivation. The self-determination theory will then work hand in hand with the achievement goal theory as a framework for additional research related to individualizing the specific influences on the athlete. The self-determination theory also consists of 3 main principles. These include competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Competence we have already talked about as it links with achievement goal theory and is the process of moving from ego-oriented to task-oriented. Autonomy relates to a person wanting to make independent decisions. So over the next few sessions, we'll try and improve your autonomy skills. We'll do this by discussing how soccer has impacted your life this far and how playing professionally can benefit you in the future. Lastly, relatedness, which is about development and maintaining close personal relationships with friends, family, and even coaches.
I didn't even talk to any of my previous coaches, teammates or friends.
Well, having support from your coach and teammates is very important in helping you enjoy the game. I want you to try and develop relationships with certain players in the team who you might get along with. Building a strong relationship with your coach is important as well as they can then cater for your needs as individual on and off the field.
I guess that sounds like something I can do.
Research has shown that integrating the 2 theories can offer a more comprehensive understanding of motivation in physical activity. Over the next few weeks, we should see a significant process in your motivation levels, moving from amotivated to intrinsic control motivation, then to extrinsic autonomous motivation. At the same time, we'll see you transition from ego-oriented to task-oriented.
Thank you for today. It's been very helpful. I know I'll take a lot of this knowledge home with me tonight. Now that I know my motivation levels are of low quality because I was ego-orientated, and this would have never allowed me to enter the intrinsic autonomous motivation category. I need to stop thinking about being better than everyone else and how friends, family, and the media perceive me. The worry of me thinking I was the best but not being picked in any professional team affected my motivation levels significantly. You have taught me some strategies that I can use to help me increase motivation levels over the next few weeks. These include receiving rewards for attending training sessions, setting SMART goals, avoiding comparing myself to others, and understanding how big of an impact soccer is on my life, and forming close relationships with my teammates and friends. I also agree that we should work closely with my current coach to continually working on my motivation skills. Thank you for today.
It was a pleasure meeting you. I'll see you next week and we'll see how you're progressing and any adjustments we need to make to the intervention plan.
Thank you.